question is, what can Congress do, if anything, to preserve or guarantee United Mine Workers pensions for coal miners? What can Congress do, if anything, to preserve and guarantee United Mine Workers pensions for coal miners?
Boy, that's an excellent question, and I wish I could make the answer short and sweet. From what I understand, that under the labor agreements with the union coal miners, they're getting paid out of various this fund. But the problem is there are fewer and fewer UMW mines. And there's an issue that they say among the industry, you don't want to be the last company standing. Because when it may come down to the last company that's operating using UMW miners, they're going to bear the burden, big burden, of providing money to that pension fund to assure that the miners get paid their pension. So people, Washington, I've met with numbers of these mining companies. I want to make sure our miners are taken care of. It's not, this isn't their fight. This is a fight for all Americans that have allowed people to go to work. And because of the change in our climate and the situation, they don't have those opportunities now. There are not the mine jobs that they had that they used to be. So they're very nervous. The uncertainty that we've talked about, for them, it's prevalent. We're looking at a way for the government to pick up on the fact that so many of these companies have gone out of business, and you don't want to be the last company standing. And when all the pension funds turn to that company and say, now it's your obligation, I don't want to see that happen. Because that company could very well just say that we're closing the doors, and then we're going to have more people out of work. So there is some legislation. I've had conversations with some of the folks. We're going to be involved in that to try to make sure that there is protection written into a bill that will guarantee that there will not be one last company responsible for the pensions of our coal miners. Because in southern West Virginia, it's a huge, huge issue, more so than it is in northern section. Okay. Next question, please.
Do you know of an HR bill regarding percent charged on each banking transaction? Did you know of an HR bill regarding percent charge on each banking transaction?
Oh, yeah, it's been defeated. But there was what we're trying to do is get for banks, there is the boat goes both ways. The banks now are charging, it's called a swipe fee. And banks have been apparently now, and I could be wrong on some of the numbers, but about 44 cents for every time you go to buy something with your debit card. Not your credit card, your debit card. They'll charge you 44 cents. And the retailers are saying, and understandably, this is really as a hardship. And they wanted to move it down to 12 cents for the swipe fee. But the bill was killed in the Senate. So I don't know what we were trying, what some were trying to do, and they were looking at, I think Shelley Moore Capito had sponsored the bill in the Senate to give it a year so that we understand more of the impact it could have on consumers and businesses if you continue with that. It all had to do with debt fees, so that the bill died. So if we're going to have to look at this again. It's not been resolved. Right now it'll remain at 44 cents. And quite frankly, I think there's something to be said about getting it down to 12 cents. But I'm not one to use my debit. I don't even have a debit card. I'm old-fashioned. I have a credit card. My wife makes fun of me. I don't even have an ATM. But I am who I am. How about the next question?
Alan, try it without the microphone. Your voice is good.
Okay. Rumor has it the military may have to start working to retirement age instead of retiring after their 20 years.
I don't think that's going to happen. I've heard that same story. I don't think they're going to do that. There are a lot of issues over spending and budget control. but sometimes people put up things like that just to scare people. I don't understand why. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But how do you stop those kinds of stories? Just like during the debate on cut, cap, and balance, I had people come in my office just carrying on with me about how Republicans were going to kill Medicare. I said, really? And she just went on and on and on, and I knew it wasn't right, but how do you step in? And you don't want to embarrass people, or